This is my album about the beautiful South. The beautiful South come from Hull, and the main person in the band is Paul Heaton. He writes all the lyrics and most of the music as well. He's not as well known as Noel Gallagher, but he's sold just as many records in this country.
Don't know what I'm doing here, I'll carry on regardless. Got enough money for one more beer, I'll carry on regardless. Good as gold, but stupid as mud, he would carry on regardless.
I've never been to Seville.
I've never been to Seville. I fancy Seville. I really like the idea of Seville.
Right.
That's it then. We've got Seville.
Right.
Should we just decide now and then we'll do it?
Right, okay. Seville. Shake on it, right.
Brilliant.
For the
That's it now.
2 weeks.
It's
for
shut,
2 weeks,
shut.
Okay.
Yeah. A hand has spoken.
Seville, yeah. Right. That's it. I'm going to Seville.
Where are we going?
I can't remember.
I'm asking you a civil question.
Verse 1, he was pissed. An excuse that you probably missed. 'Cause his smile and disgrace made you scared right high. Verse 2, still drunk, and his breath most definitely stunk of the lies and the shite he was spitting out. That grand facade will finally diminish when it breaks your heart from start to finish.
The old are conspicuous rail travellers. They have half-price tickets and are using the trains more and more. They keep their cars for short journeys and book at the station for longer ones. A train is such perfect transport for the elderly that it could have been designed for them especially. It has the right kind of seat, an attendant, food, heating, and a lavatory. Best of all, it has a certain drama, a sense of occasion which is restorative. The late 20th century is only just finding out that it is one of the most agreeable ways to get about. 70 and 80-year-olds are able to recall its heyday. There's a continuity in rail travel for them, which cars and phones do not possess. The train, however advanced the model, is their vehicle because it was there at the beginning. It is powerful and dream-inducing.
keeps on training hard, working hard, and I'm sure he could be there, you know. I mean, he was full of energy. He was a very hyperactive kid when he was a youngster. And, you know, that's how he got involved in boxing. I took him to the gym and he loved it that much, and he's been involved in it ever since he was an 8-year-old, really.
Ray Bradbury is the elder statesman of Martian science fiction, but rather than War of the Worlds, his inspiration was the Martian vision of the writer better known for Tarzan of the Apes, Edgar Rice Burroughs.
My idea of heaven was every Saturday night going downtown on my roller skates, pulled by my dog, to pick up the Sunday paper, in which was another episode of John Carter on Mars. At the end of one of his books, he put his heroine, Dejah Thoris, in a sun prison, which turned around just once a year so that the exit and the entrance coincided and she could escape. So I couldn't afford to buy the sequel. It was in the next book, you see. So I wrote the sequel. So the first thing I wrote when I was 12 years old was a sequel to the Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter.
Now, I've got some supper cooking. I wish I could feel a little bit more excited about this supper, but it is yet again a sort of vegetable risotto sort of stew. I've got some more nice little sweet potatoes. I've got some water boiling here. I'm going to have some rice, vegetable stock cube, and squeeze some limes on.
Bricks manage time beautifully. They can last nearly forever. Their rough surface weathers handsomely in a way that keeps improving for centuries. These bricks are Roman. A further advantage is that brick is easily recyclable. Many a medieval English structure prominently displayed its recycled Roman brick. Called weatherboard in Britain, is a skin made of overlapping planks. It's a classic example of a building material that looks bad before it acts bad. It tells you when it needs attention. The northeastern United States was called New England because that's what it was. Villagers from Essex and Suffolk brought traditional building practices there with them.
You don't see a lot of sea serpents these days, but that doesn't necessarily mean they don't exist. Irish artist and sea mystic Tony Shields is sure it's only our belief that has died.
Well, the sea is very deep and it contains nightmare creatures, monsters, huge watery dragons and great sharks and sea serpent. I've seen them.
A fictional prophecy is soon to become fact, according to Major Ed Dames. Dames is a former U.S. Army major who trained as a psychic spy in Unit 2560. The technique they developed, known as remote viewing, was used in strategic operations and won a personal commendation from President Jimmy Carter.
I first directed the military intelligence officers who were part of this project to look at Mars for advanced training purposes. I was trying to inject some novelty into our operations. Back to the S. Object what? Colors, textures.
Shiny, metallic,
dimensions. Dimensions.
Round, long, spinning.
Spinning is a D. Remote viewing results were so incredible, I did not believe them. I thought something had gone wrong.
And we have an opportunity now to do things that I don't think any of us dreamed would be available to us. That's the power of the Olympic Games.
For the past 40 years, the island of Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean has been the home of science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke. Clarke has always regarded the ocean as an alien inner space, with an equal capacity as outer space for fantastic and terrible discoveries.
What really made me realize there were some rather interesting and large things in the sea was a book by Frank Bullin called The Cruise of the Cachalot. Cachalot is an old term for the sperm whale, and this was a story of a whaling ship. It's sort of parallel to much more famous Moby Dick.
I think this is clearly the world leader in terms of specifically built facilities for badminton. It's a one-stop centre for the players. They get their medical care, all their sports science support, all their physical preparation, and obviously their badminton in one centre.